I planned to surprise my pregnant fiancée by coming home earlier than she expected, but it looks like I've been one-upped because she surprised me by being in bed with another man. Posted by you/SyncOld. Last week, I was completely and utterly happy, head over heels in love with my fiancée. We've been together for years. In May, we found out she was pregnant. Life didn't feel like it could get any better. I'm an essential worker and, unfortunately, still have to travel from time to time for my job. I've been trying to cut down on plane travel and will drive if possible. Last week, I was scheduled to be gone all week but ended up being able to leave several days ahead of time. I wanted to surprise my fiancée. It was an 8-hour drive, but it ended up taking close to 14 hours because of traffic and poor timing on my part. I got home around 10:30 p.m. and found her and a coworker in our bed together, having sex. She's an assistant producer at a local news station, and he's one of the anchors. She immediately tried to defuse the situation, saying it wasn't what I thought it was and telling me not to jump to conclusions. He jumped up, put his clothes on, and left. I was so angry I was seeing stars. She tried to talk to me about it, but I didn't want to hear it. I left, called a buddy, and have been staying with him for the past 6 days. I spoke to her on the phone yesterday, and she told me it was a one-time thing and that she feels like the passion has been missing in our relationship, which I don't agree with at all. I think she was trying to justify the cheating and gaslight me. I'm so angry, and she won't stop harassing me. I don't know what to do. We're going to be parents, and I don't want anything to do with her, but I'm stuck with her for the next 18 years, at minimum. She hasn't even apologized, she just keeps trying to justify her actions. Relevant comments. Commenter. It is likely that they've been having an affair longer than just that one day. Please get the child's DNA tested when you can. Take care of yourself, and do not believe her gaslighting or justification. There is no justification for her actions. Ops response. No doubt in my mind it's been going on for longer than one day. They worked together a lot, and pre-pandemic, they had a lot of late nights together. I do believe the baby is mine because I didn't really travel anywhere during that time, and she didn't leave the house either. They were only having a couple of people in the studio and rotating them, but I will still request one for my own solace. Commenter 2. Is the affair partner married? I would take this situation to the company's HR department. Ops response. I just googled him, and he doesn't appear to be in a relationship or have any pictures of a woman on his social media, but he does follow a lot of our NFL team's cheerleaders and models lol, so it's only a matter of time before he strays. Update 10 days later. Sorry for taking so long to update. This week has been hellish. I met with my friend's lawyer, family law buddy early last week. He contacted her and threatened to go public about their affair, so she was more forthcoming with information. She told him they had been sleeping together for over a year. She's 85% sure the baby is mine because they never have unprotected sex, but she doesn't want to have a DNA test until the baby is born. The lawyer believes the baby is the other guy's based on this comment. I haven't fully moved out yet, just moved a lot of my clothes into my buddy's place. The lawyer thinks I should sell the house and not let her buy me out because he doesn't think she has the funds and would BS me. Second update 6 months later. Firstly, I'm so sorry it took me so long to update this. My original post is archived, so I thought I would make a new post so you can respond. Here is my update on the original post. I'm still blown away by the number of people checking up on me, both in this thread and via DM. I really appreciate the support and love during this trying time. Now, on to what you're here for. We did multiple DNA tests, the baby is mine. He was born a few weeks ago and is by far the greatest thing to happen to me. He makes all this mess worth it. His mother and I are not together. I strictly speak to her about the baby, and that is all. The house is sold. Closing is on March 1st, but we do not need to be there. I'm still living with my buddy, hoping to buy a new home in the next few months for my son and me. I did not go public with the affair out of respect for our son. Her employers know, and she was terminated. He is still working there. I'm not sure what their relationship consists of, and I don't care. I'm guessing he bolted. Relevant comments. Commenter. Why wasn't he fired? Tell his significant other. Ops response. I have no idea why he wasn't fired. I'm guessing it's because he's harder to replace? Maybe he's on probation? He doesn't appear to have a significant other either. From what I've seen on his social media pages, he's a player, follows a lot of local models and NFL cheerleaders. Probably hooks up with them, but nothing serious, aside from my, at the time, pregnant fiancée. Commenter 2. This ended up better than I thought. The baby is yours, and your fiancée got punished by losing her job. Too bad the anchorman didn't get canned too. You know, you could still ruin his reputation if you wanted to be a bit petty, let someone else spill all the details out in the open. Ops response. I really thought he would end up being the affair partners and was surprised when he ended up being mine. The problem with ruining his reputation is that my ex would end up getting dragged in, making him Googleable to our child and his future friends. I don't want him or his classmates/friends to easily find this information online. If it's broadcast everywhere, local outlets would pick it up. For all I know, He may be held accountable in other ways, but I wouldn't be privy to that information. I only know my ex was fired because she told me, lol. Third update 3 years 10 months later. I made this throwaway over 4 years ago when I had just found out my ex-fiancée cheated on me with her coworker. I actually completely forgot I made this account until I was going through my email to delete stuff yesterday. I figured I'd log back in and give all the people in situations similar to and worse than mine some hope. I was incredibly broken when this happened and tried to put all my feelings aside when our son was born. I'm ashamed to share that my feelings eventually caught up with me, and my ex and I went at it, verbally, on multiple occasions. Shortly after, I realized I had let her break me and started going to therapy regularly. I had gone a couple of times before that and didn't think it helped, but once I was consistent, it was a game changer. As a man, I was taught to suck it up and move on, but crying and talking about issues does help. I mean, honestly talking about them, not in the stoic way I had been doing. My ex and I are actually on friendly terms. She is also in therapy. I'm proud to say we co-parent really well. We do family activities together, like opening gifts on Christmas or spending the day with him on his birthday. He's 4. How do I have a 4-year-old? He's so smart, funny, and loves us both so much. We do 50-50 custody, and it works for us. She's a great mom, I won't take that away from her. I'm sure this isn't the update some of you wanted to hear, but it's what works best for our son. I don't hate her anymore, and she doesn't hate me anymore. We're both in a really good place. No, I don't ever want to be with her again. She has apologized to me for her affair. We had a really open and honest conversation with each other about 2 years ago, and it really helped me heal. I got to air out all my feelings, and so did she. The affair partner moved to a new news station about 2.5 to 3 years ago in a different state. They don't speak anymore. She's dating, but nothing serious. She does have a new job working at another local news station. She started working when our son was a year old. I'm doing really well, enjoying watching our son grow up. I've been dating someone for the past 2 years, she's the best human I've ever met. She loves my son as her own and has really worked with me to mend my trust issues. Ironically, we met at work. Even my ex likes her and has no problem with her being around our son. Don't worry, I waited a full year to introduce her to him. Just wanted you all to know that things do get better, and although things didn't work out the way I had initially planned, I'm still incredibly happy, and our son is thriving. Relevant comments. I'm more so wondering, did he ever get punished? Like, if you weren't a more level-headed person, you could have caused a crapstorm for that news station. The fact that only she got fired is mind-boggling to me. I would have expected him to be axed immediately for opening them up to a PR nightmare. Also, you said she apologized. Did she ever explain her reasoning behind the affair? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I like hearing the excuses they give. It's almost comical after so many years of hearing them repeatedly. Ops response. I honestly don't know. I'm sure some sort of action was taken. I also think that might be why he left the news station and moved to a different state. People who work in the news industry typically have contracts that last 2 to 3 years, so that adds up. I never outright asked my ex, and she never said anything to me. I think it was easier to fire her because she was nearing the end of her 2-year contract. I didn't know this at the time, with her station, and she made less money than he did. Viewers wouldn't notice she was missing because she wasn't on-air talent, so there were fewer questions than if he had been fired. Usually, when someone leaves this station, they have a little party and wish them well. They didn't do this for that guy. One day he was on, and the next, he was gone. We found out through social media that he had moved to another station. All his coworkers unfollowed him, so something tells me he was on thin ice at the station. I don't want to get fully into it, but one of her major issues was that I worked too much, and she was right. I was already working a lot before she got pregnant, and I worked even more after I found out. We had planned to start trying for children after we got married, but she got pregnant before that, and our wedding was canceled because of COVID. Once I checked my ego, I could see how she felt lonely and that I wasn't there for her. It's not a reason to cheat, but the resentment built up.